I'm going to give a series of clues. I'm recording, Boover, you good? I'm going to give you a series of clues as to who the celebrity or person is that I'm being. If you guess it on the first clue, you'll get 10 points. If you guess it on the second clue, you'll get 8 points. And then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the next clues. Clues will get progressively easier. But once you've handed it in, or you're not going to hand it in, you're not going to put anything in the comments or anything like that, just write down when you want to go for it. Once you've handed it in, once you've decided how many points you're going to go for, you can't then change your mind. So if you say, I think I know who it is after the second clue for 8 points, and you say, I'm going for 8. Once you've heard three more clues and decided it's not who you thought it was, unfortunately, you can't change your mind. You went for 8, you get 0 for the round. And again, that's not uncommon. We give out zeros quite often. So it's entirely up to you when you decide to hand it in. You don't have to physically hand anything in to me. You're not writing it in the chat box or sending me a message. Just be honest with yourselves about when you're going to do it. And as always, just put in the chat box how many points you're claiming. So when you think you're going to go for it, just go, yeah, going for 8 or going for 6 or whatever it may be. So everyone else can see that you've essentially handed it in at that point. Puts a bit of pressure on the other teams that way. And then we'll see how we get on and we'll mark each round at the end. Does that make sense to everybody? The last team's just joining now, so I'll wait till they connect on audio and then we'll get going.
Hey, Crossy, we've
finally got you.
Kath and Paul, you're on now. You've done my quiz before at Heaton, so you know what I'm doing. But I'm starting off with a who am I. I'm just about to start it. Remember, you can only hand it in once. I don't want you to physically hand anything in. Don't put any comments about who you're going for in the chat box. But by all means, go for how many. Just put in the chat box how many points you're going for. But your first clue for 10 points. My real name is Terry Jean Balea, but you will know me by another. My real name is Terry Jean Balea, but you will know me by another. So that's your clue for 10 points. So if you did fancy it and you wanted to go... Yes, Kath, say that again.
We weren't ready.
We weren't ready, right. So your clue for 10 points, again, just for Kath. My real name is Terry Jean Balea, but you will know me by another. Were you ready then, Kath? So my real name's Terry Jean Balea, but you will know me by another. Don't worry, if you miss it, I do tend to repeat things because I know people have connection difficulties. So, you know, I do repeat things. If you've missed anything at the end, we can catch up. But obviously, with this round, I'll go through each one 2 or 3 times. Don't worry. It looks like Paul Blinkhorn's going for 10 points there. That's a great effort if he gets 10 on that one. Unusual, I'll give out 10 points on this round, so that's a good effort if they do. Your clue for 8 points, I'm guessing there's no more coming in there. So your clue for 8 points, I was born August 11th, 1953 in Augusta, Georgia. I was born August 11th, 1953 in Augusta, Georgia. So my real name is Terry Jean Balea, and I was born on August the 11th, 1953 in Augusta, Georgia. Tom Speak going for 8, which is Amy and everyone. Daz, Tom, Amy, anyone that Tom works with. Defending champions this week as well. I think you were defending champions, weren't you? Is that right? Yeah. Missed out on a tie break the week before and then got it last week. So your clue for 6 points. I am 6 feet 7 inches tall and weigh 21 stone 8 pounds. So my real name is Terry Jean Balea. I was born August 11th, 1953 in Augusta, Georgia, and I'm 6 feet 7 inches tall and weigh 21 stone 8 pounds. So there's 1 for 10, 1 for 8, and there's a couple coming in now for 6. Boothie for 6, Sharon, Rose and Chloe for 6. Out of interest, I can't see Paul. I was going to ask him out if he's feeling confident for his 10, but I can't see him on the screen. Terry going for 6. What are you thinking, Mum? Have you got? No idea. Not a bloody clue. Okay.
I'm not got a clue.
A few more 6s. We've got the Wadsworths going for 6. Joe's going for 6. Aidan and Co going for 6. But it's Phil and Co. on Aidan's signed in as Aidan, I think, looking at things. Jean going for 6 as well.
I borrowed his laptop because it's more modern.
Fair enough. Modern is good. Modern means less repeats needed.
Hopefully.
So there's a good few coming there for 6, but still plenty to come in. So I'm going to give you a clue for 5 points now. 5 points. I became a professional in my chosen career in 1977, but gained worldwide recognition after joining the WWF in 1983. I became a professional in my chosen career in 1977, but gained worldwide recognition after joining the WWF in 1983. Ryan going for 5. Mary going for 5 as well. There's a couple more coming in now.
Crossy, when he joined the WWF?
He joined the WWF in 1983.
Cheers, mate.
No worries.
Did he have
Catherine was for 5. Greg going for 5. Mum, what are you thinking? Are you getting there? You holding fire or?
Crossy.
Yeah, mate.
Paul and Catherine going for 5.
You're going for 5. Good.
Yeah.
I think I'll do it. Oh, do you know what?
My mum's tempted. Not quite sure. What are you thinking? Don't say it out loud. Right. Okay. Right. Are you going for it though?
Yes.
My mum's going for 5. Who else have we got? Paul's gone for 5 as well. So going for 4 now. I have participated in many Royal Rumbles. I have participated in many Royal Rumbles. It's for those that don't know what WWF stands for. It's not called WWF anymore.
Yeah.
How's your chat?
Joy and Hannah think they're going for 0. I think you'll get it on the next one, to be honest with you. So don't panic. Don't panic if you're struggling. And there's normally some 0s kicking about from people that guess too early anyway. So you're always better picking up a couple of points than going for 10 and getting it wrong. Sarah's gone for 5 as well, I think there. So you clue for 3 points. I have a blonde handlebar moustache. I have a blonde handlebar moustache.
Let's get back to photos.
David Arnett going for 3. The big blonde tash giving it away. So clue for 3 points. I have a blonde handlebar moustache. That's that one. Terry thinks he's got it wrong. For 2 points, I am a very famous retired wrestler. A very famous retired wrestler. And your last clue for 1 point, my initials are HH.
You're proud of me.
You've done all right there if you've got 5 there. Yeah. Good job with that. So Jean's just listened to the clue for 1, but she's gone for 6. I can't keep track of everyone if they're in or not, but it looks like most are going to be in there. If they're not already in, that's your last clue. I am, of course, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. So let us know in the comments how many you ended up getting on that round. So we've got a 6 for Joe. We've got a 6 for Jean, I think. We've got a 0 for Paul. He blanked on the round. David Inique 3. The Wadsworths get 0. Mary gets 5. Boothie got 6. Ryan got 5. My mum got 5. Constantine's got 6. Terry thought it was a basketball player, got 0. Joy and Hannah, good old 0. Don't worry, you're not the only ones. Greg gets 5. Paul, cocky Paul, who went for 10, gets 0. You had Andre the Giant. You know what? You're in the right realm with that as well, so that's unfortunate, but good effort. Sarah gets 5. Tom Speak, 8. I think it's the solo 8 as well. Early lead. Paul put the Undertaker. Catherine was get 5. Sharon Rose and Chloe 6. There's a good mix there. We're going all the way from 8s down to 0s, as usual. But don't worry, there's plenty of time to make it up in the rest of the quiz. So we're going to move on to the first 10 questions of your general knowledge quiz. Don't forget to make a note of how many points you got in that round so we can add them up at the end and see who's won. But just make a note of that somewhere, and then we'll crack on with your first 10, have a little break, and then we'll crack on with the second half. So question 1. Oh, I changed this one. What did I change it to? Who made his first appearance in Steamboat Willie? Who made his first appearance in Steamboat Willie? Don't look at me like that, Mum.
I've seen that film.
I've no idea if you've seen that.
Well, I won't know if I've not seen it all.
I don't know. Quite a common quiz question, to be honest. So question 1, who made his debut or first appearance in Steamboat Willie? Question 2, what connects the years 1865, 1881, 1901 and 1963? What connects the years 1865, 1881, 1901 and 1963? So again, with this one, please don't put any answers down in the comment section. Just write them down on a piece of paper and then we'll mark them at the end. Question 3. What three-letter word can go after tar or before gent? What three-letter word can go after tar or before gent? That's tar, T-A-R, and gent, G-E-N-T. I'm looking for a three-letter word that can go after tar or before gent. Question 4. What alcoholic drink goes into making a daiquiri? What alcoholic drink goes into making a daiquiri? Question 5. Who was the oldest person to have a UK #1 single in the 20th century? Who was the oldest person to have a UK #1 single in the 21st century? It's a solo single as well, I'll make that clear. So who was the oldest person to have a UK #1 solo single in the 20th century? I'm not after how old they would be now, I'm after how old they were at the time they had the #1. It's that bloke, my mum says. Half a point for that, mum.
I know he is.
Yeah.
Just don't know his name.
20th century, David Inique, yes. So 1901 to 1999, or 1900 to 1999. Question 6. Which book is Douglas Adams most famous for? Which book is Douglas Adams most famous for? Got that one, Mum? No. So question 6. Which book is Douglas Adams most famous for? Question 7. What F word is the name given to ribbon-shaped pasta? What F word is the name given to ribbon-shaped pasta? Question 8. What made its first journey in 1883 from Paris to Constantinople, or what's now Istanbul? What made its first journey in 1883 from Paris to Constantinople, which is now Istanbul?
Sorry, Crossy, just repeat that one for me, bud.
Yeah, no worries. What made its first journey in 1883, and it went from Paris to Constantinople, which is now Istanbul? Question 9. In which 1993 film did Jeff Goldblum play a character called Dr. Ian Malcolm? In which 1993 film did Jeff Goldblum play a character called Dr. Ian Malcolm? And question 10, last one before we have a little break. Question 10, what year was the £2 coin first introduced in the UK? And I'm going to give you a year either side because I'm in a generous mood. So what year was the first £2 coin first introduced in the UK? And I'll give you a year either side on that one. So I'm going to give you another 5 or 10 minutes just to be finishing off your wipeout round. And then we'll go through some answers to your wipeout round after that 10 minutes. And we'll go through your next Who Am I and your last 10 questions. If you need anything repeating from the first 10, just fire away in the chat box and I'll happily repeat. So you can be filling in any blanks you've got on your pictures, but more importantly, make sure you've got your wipeout round ready to go because that's what we'll be marking next. And I'm going to go and top my beer up, I think. Cheers, Simon. Simon on the Corona. Is everyone sat down, good to go? I think they are. Just waiting on someone for Paul, I think, looking at things. I can catch him up when need be. Right, so your wipeout round answers. So I was looking for any of the most common phobias in the UK for the top 10. If you get any wrong, you'll lose all your points. Maximum number of points available is 10. And your 10 most common phobias are heights, number 1. Public speaking, number 2. Snakes, number 3. Flying, number 4. Spiders, number 5. Crowds, being outside, so agoraphobia, number 6. Clowns, number 7. Enclosed spaces, or claustrophobia, number 8. Mice and rats, number 9. And number 10, the dark. Is Boovy's shouting and screaming there, which makes me think he was waiting on that one. I'll read through those again for those that may have missed them. First one, heights. Second one, public speaking. Third one, snakes. Fourth one is flying. 5th one is spiders. 6th one is crowds or being outside. 7th one is clowns. 8th is enclosed spaces. 9th is mice and rats. And 10th is the dark. So let's see how many people got on that one then. Oh, I may have missed some. We've got 8s from Constantine's first one I've seen. Mary 3. Catherine was wipeout. Joe gets 8. The Wadsworths get 0. They wiped out as well. Terry wiped out. Boothie was waiting on the dark for 6. And you took clowns out, so that would have been 7. So 6 for you. Ryan 7. Joy and Hannah 6. Greg 5. Paul 0. 6 for Paul. 6 for Jean. Good mix in there. Very, very good mix. Sarah and Lee, nice say 5. Very, very good mix in there. Going from all the way from 8 down to 0s, I think. And defending champion, Tom Speak and Co. 0. They wipe out as well. Sharon, Rose, Chloe, previous winners as well. They're 0. So that's our last two quiz winners, both out in that round with 0. So it's all to play for. All to play for. Yeah, I like that round. Good round, that one. Right, moving on to your second Who Am I? But it's not a Who Am I? It's a What Am I? So same rules apply. 10, then 8, then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not a person this time. It's a thing. What am I? You can only guess once. Don't put it in the chat box. Just put how many you're going for in the chat box. And we'll see how we get on. My mum's just hung up on the phone, which means she may get involved for this one. Let's just give her a second. You come in. I'll catch you up on your wipeout round answers. I'll do that at the end. But we'll just start on your next Who Am I now. But it's a What Am I?
Okay.
You know the rules, so I don't have to explain them again. So for 10 points, I was first established in 1927. I was first established in 1927. That's your clue for 10 points on your What Am I? Is anyone being brave and or stupid to go for 10 points? Paul, looking at you. Not again, just once is enough for one night. Cool. I don't think anyone's going to go for that. So I was first established in 1927. For 8 points, I take place every 2 years. I take place every 2 years. So I was first established in 1927, and I take place every 2 years. So no one's gone for 10, and with no one in for 8 just yet. Oh, 2 in for 8, 3 in for 8. Boothie, Paul, Constantine's, the Wadsworths, they're all in for 8. Boothie says he thinks he's on a gamble there. I think with a shake of the hand. Tom Speak going for 8. Trying to make up from that previous wipeout round, they're going for 8. So there's a few gone for 8, but not loads. So for 6 points, there is no prize money for winning me. There is no prize money for winning me. So I was first established in 1927. I take place every 2 years, and there is no prize money for winning me. There's a few gone for 6. Ryan, Sharon, Rose and Chloe, Greg, all gone for 6. For 5 points, the last time I took place, the scores were 17.5 to 10.5. A nod and a smile from Boothie. I think the half points there, maybe give that one away. So the last time I took place, the scores were 17.5 to 10.5. Mary Morgan gone for 5. Paul Walker going for 5. Catherine was going for 5. How are you thinking, Mum? You still struggling? It's not an easy one, to be fair. Pollock's gone for 5. For 4 points, I'm scheduled to take place in September and October at Whistling Straits. I am scheduled to take place in September and October at Whistling Straits. Terry going for 4. Mom? No? You have heard of it?
Sure.
Yeah, I think everyone will have heard of it. It might not be something everyone knows, but you'll have heard of it. For 3 points, I am a team golf event. A team golf event.
Oh, God.
Dave and Annie going for 3. Joy and Hannah going for 3. My mum's still struggling with this one.
I think I know.
You think you know it, but you don't know its name. Is it that one of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it, I just don't know what it's called.
I know the golfer that.
A team golf event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe's gone for 3 as well. Jean's gone for 3. So there's a few going for 3 there. I think they're the ones that were struggling a little bit, gone for 3. My mum's still holding fire. She's not sure. So I'm going to give you the next clue for 2. I am competed for by teams from the US and Europe. Mum's gone for 2. I'm surprised you've gone for 2 and not 3. I don't see how that's helped you.
Because I ain't got a clue what to number.
Right.
What the hell it was, and then you said golf, and then that gave me the incentive, but I wasn't willing to
Fair enough.
bet.
Fair enough. That's your clue for 2. So I'm competed for by teams from the US and from Europe. And for 1 point, my initials are the RC. R for Romeo, C for Charlie. I know I said C for cup. I am, of course, the Ryder Cup. So how many did people score on that round? I'm the Ryder Cup. Constantine's 8. David Anique 3. Tom Speak 8. Paul Walker 5. Joe Fishwick 3. Booth at 8. I can't take credit. Beck's dad got it. Every credit. Thought you might have got that one, Boothie. I thought I'll put that on just for you. Mary 5. Jean 3. Paul, a double blank on the Who Am I? That's just not good at all. Struggling a little bit there. Terry got 4. 4 to the 8, but didn't go for it. Joy and Hannah 3. Well done. Greg gets 6. Ryan 6. So again, we've got a mix there. We've got 8s down to wipeouts all over the place. Catherine was 5. Tough one. Tough one. Right, so we're going to move on to your second 10 questions. Your final 10 questions. And then we'll go through some answers after that. So, next 10 questions, general knowledge quiz. Question 11. Which footballer scored a hat-trick for England against Germany in 2001? Which footballer scored a hat-trick for England against Germany in 2001? Catherine was 5. Catherine Norris 0. Cool. I thought you might have got that. Actually, going for a conservative 5, I think you went for that. You might have got that one. Paul looked quite confident. Question 12. The Venus de Milo is a famous statue. What body feature does it have missing? The Venus de Milo is a famous statue. What body feature does it have missing? Don't be rude, Mum. Question 13. From which animal does haggis come from? From which animal does haggis come from? Question 14. What's the common name for cooking pastry on its own without any filling? What is... I see Kath perked up there. No, it's not a sports question. Oh, what's that? What's that? What is the common name for cooking pastry on its own without any filling? You get that one, won't you, Mum?
Done it.
Got that one. Paul thought haggis was an animal. Fair enough. I think it's all sorts of offal and then put inside the intestine of the animal as well, I think. Question 15. If a patient underwent an orchidectomy, what would they have had removed? If a patient underwent an orchidectomy, that's ORCHIDECTOMY. Orchidectomy. What would they have had removed? Question 16. What two countries are separated by the 38th parallel? I want both countries for the point on this one. It's not a point for each. I want both countries for the 1 point. What two countries are separated by the 38th parallel? Question 17. What is the name of the Prime Minister's weekend retreat? What is the name of the Prime Minister's weekend retreat? Boothie reckons they're tough questions this week.
I think you have to.
Maybe. Tough for everyone, though. Paul Blincorn says the Holiday Inn for the Prime Minister's weekend retreat. Sharon Rose and Chloe say it's well solid this week as well. Well, fair enough. If they're a bit tough, they're a bit tough. Question 18. If you sailed due south from Land's End, which country would you come to first? If you sailed due south from Land's End, which country would you come to first? Question 19. What colour were Mr. Blobby's spots? What colour were Mr. Blobby's spots? One.
A lot of vodka in
A double, maybe?
there. Oh, God.
And question 20, the last question on tonight's quiz. What did large crowds gather in Cornwall to do on the 11th of August, 1999?
I know.
What did large crowds gather in Cornwall to do on the 11th of August, 1999? You should know, we were there.
Oh, that's what I said. We did it.
So I'll give you a couple of minutes just to fill in any blanks on your picture round and any blanks questions you might have on your general knowledge quiz. If you do need any repeats, please do let me know, and then we'll rattle through some answers in just a couple of minutes. Mum, I'm going to get you up to speed on your wipeout as well, because I'll mark the wipeout round.
Yeah, go on,
So are you ready to go with your wipeout?
Yeah.
So your wipeout answers are... Wipeout answers are heights,
heights.
public speaking,
Yeah.
snakes,
Yeah.
flying,
Yeah.
spiders,
Oh,
crowds or being outside,
no.
clowns,
No.
enclosed spaces or claustrophobia,
Closed spaces.
yeah, mice and rats, or rats, either or, and the dark.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. So none wrong.
No.
So my mum got 6 on the wipeout round. Well done, Mum. Tom Speak, please repeat question 2. Question 2. What connects the years 1865, 1881, 1901 and 1963? That's a repeat of question 2. Does anybody else want any more repeated? Paul wants number 18, not a problem. If you sailed due south from Land's End, which country would you come to first? That's a repeat of question 18. If you sailed due south from Land's End, which country would you come to first? Tom says it's funny hearing his name over the phone when he's not there. He sent me a picture. In fact, I'm going to show you all the picture. This is a picture of Tom, currently at work. I'm pretty sure that's a health and safety problem. He's up a crane doing a quiz. Good job Boothie's not there. I'll shout at him for that one. We're still logged in as Tom, though, so unless Amy's had a sex change, which I don't think she has, she's logged in as Tom. So it doesn't look like there's any more repeats being asked for, which is good. That normally means the connection's been pretty good and people can hear me. That's good. Everyone happy? You ready, Mum? Right, we're going to go through your answers to your picture round first, and then we'll go through your answers to your general knowledge quiz, and then we'll add everything up. So make sure you've already added, well, make sure you've written down your scores for your wipeout round and your 2 home eyes. But your picture round, number 1 is Gloria Honeyford. Number 2, Anthony Hopkins. Number 3, Marco Pierre White. Number 4 is Harry Hill. Number 5, David Blaine. Number 6 is Taylor Swift. Number 7 is Caitlyn Jenner, and I will more than happily accept Bruce Jenner. Controversially, but I will still accept Bruce Jenner. Question 8, number 8 was Nigella Lawson. Number 9, Eddie Murphy. Number 10, Twiggy. Number 11, Oscar Pistorius. Number 12, Michael McIntyre. Who did you put?
I don't even know who he is. Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr. You're not, he's a comedian. You're not Maz. You're in the right genre, at least. Number 13 is Steven Spielberg. Number 14 is Liam Neeson. And number 15 is Kate Winslet. So let's have a look at how many people got on the picture. And these are usually quite high scores. So I'd imagine they'll be up there in the 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s. So we've got 14, a 12, a 15, a 15, 13, 15, 14, 15. 15 thanks from Twiggy by Beck's mum. Yeah, I wouldn't have got Twiggy, actually. I've heard of her. My mum's talked about it before, but I wouldn't have had a clue who that was. I'm not going to lie. 13, 13, 14, 10.
11.
All double figures. My mum gets 11. Dave and I need 12. All double figure scores are good scores there, so well done. Kath for 14. Good stuff. Right, we're going to move on to your general knowledge quiz. 20 questions. I changed the first one. It's not what I wrote down. It was whose debut appearance or first appearance came in Steamboat Willie. It was Mickey Mouse. Number 2, what connects the years 1865, 1881, 1901, and 1963? They were all assassinations of US presidents. So the big clue being JFK in 1963 with that one. But if you knew Lincoln was 65, 1865, then that would have been a big help.
Do you want to know what I said for number 1?
What did you put for number 1?
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin. You're not a million miles away. It's the same sort of decade at least. Maybe a little bit later. Number 3. What 3-letter word can go after tar or before gent? The 3-letter word is tan. Tan for tartan and tangent. Couple nodding there, couple shaking their head. Good. Right. Number 4. What alcoholic drink goes into making a daiquiri? That would be a rum. White rum specifically, but I'll accept rum. Question 5. Who was the oldest person to have a UK #1 single in the 20th century? That was Louis Armstrong. What a wonderful world.
Are you sure it weren't Bing Crosby?
It wasn't Bing Crosby, no. Bing Crosby. No, it wasn't. Louis Armstrong. And then he was overtaken, I think, by, let me think, maybe Tom Jones after that. And then the most recent one is Captain Tom Moore, isn't it?
That's all I think.
But in 20th century, Louis Armstrong. Question 6. Which book is Douglas Adams most famous for? That will be The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Question 7. What F word is the name given to ribbon-shaped pasta? That will be fettuccine. Question 8. What made its first journey in 1883 from Paris to Constantinople, which is now Istanbul? That's the Orient Express. Question 9. In which 1993 film did Jeff Goldblum play a character called Dr. Ian Malcolm? Jurassic Park. Question 10. What year was the £2 coin first introduced in the UK? And I did say I'd give you a year either side on this one. It was 1998. When did you vote? 97. So you got a point. It's all right. Question 11. Which footballer scored a hat-trick for England against Germany in 2001? That was Michael Owen.
Alright.
Question 12. The Venus de Milo is a famous statue. What body feature does it have missing? It's missing its arms. Mum, go on. Do we ask?
Man's bits.
Todger. You know, I actually had another person, another one message me saying, was it his Todger? So
Do you know
I'll
what?
let you off. It wasn't his Todger, no, it's her arms.
And do you know what I put for the footballer? Yes.
I've no idea, go on.
Gaza. Because I only
He's
know.
not,
I only
10
know-
years out, that's all.
I only know 2 footballers, Gaza and John McGinley.
And David Ginnell, I used to have a picture of him on the fridge.
Oh, and
Question
Ginola.
13. From which animal does haggis come from? It comes from sheep. Question 14. What's the common name for cooking pastry on its own without any filling? That would be baking blind. Blind baking. Question 15. If a patient underwent an orchidectomy, what would they have had removed? That would be a testicle. That's where you had to be naughty. Not your Venus de Milo. That's your naughty one. Question 16. What 2 countries are separated by the 38th parallel? North and South Korea. Question 17. What's the name of the Prime Minister's weekend retreat? Chequers. Question 18. If you sailed due south from Land's End, which country would you come to first? You'd come to Spain. I checked that on a map as well. I thought it was quite an interesting one. Question 19. What colour were Mr. Blobby's spots? They were yellow. And question 20. What did large crowds gather in Cornwall to do on the 11th of August 1999? They gathered to see a solar eclipse, a total eclipse of the sun. So if you want to get yourselves added up, let's see who scored what. Don't tell me what you got for that round. Just tell me your total score in the chat box, and we'll see who's won this week's quiz. There's been a lot of a lot of wipeouts, and a lot of blanks on the Who Am I's this week, so it could be up for grabs for anyone, really. I know Sharon, Rose, and Chloe got a blank on one. Tom Speak got a blank on one as well. So two of the last 3 previous winners, I think, there have gone. So we've got 39 from David Inique. We've got a very, very, very high scoring 56 from the Constantines. I think that could take some beating. 36 from the Wadsworths. 44 from Joe. And that was Stuart as well. Catherine was 38. Jean, 38. Mary, 42. Mum? 35. Greg, 42. Boothie, 45. Paul, 34. Joy and Hannah, 34. Sharon, Rose and Chloe, previous winners of the quiz, 32, and I won't say what they said after it, but 32 for Sharon, Rose and Chloe. That just goes to show that sometimes you can have a great week, sometimes you can have a terrible week. It's just how the questions fall, and your wipeout and your Who Am I's can really contribute to that. So don't be disheartened if you're not doing too great. Catherine was. It might be your week next week. You never know. What else have we got? Tom Speak, 49. Ryan, 43. Catherine, 39. Oh, you're missing. Sharon, Rose and Chloe are missing, Chloe. You're definitely missing, Chloe, if you missed by that much. Paul Walker, 37. So it looks to me like that is a very, very, very comfortable win for the Constantines. We were rubbish on general knowledge, says Boothie. Well, don't do quizzes then if you're rubbish at general knowledge. I mean, it's got a bit of a bearing. You may be in the wrong game. Kath, 37. I'm sure you've put your answer in once. Have you changed your mind? 37. So we've got scores ranging from low mid 30s up to 56, and that's a very, very, very comfortable win for the Constantines. So I must say, very, very well done to them. The questions must have just fallen their way this week. I know they're a little bit harder than probably normally are, but always good to see how people fare with a bit of a tougher question. But thank you all very, very, very much for taking part. I hope you've all had a lot of fun. I'll look forward to seeing as many of you as possible next Tuesday. Same time next week, same setup for the quiz. And thank you all very much. And some comments coming in saying thank you as well. Thank you. You were very welcome. I enjoy doing the quiz. It's always good fun. Yeah, it's nice to see people get back to a little bit of normality, and the quiz